Hi, traders. This is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar, and I want to welcome you all back. So it is time to get ready for today's action. Hope everybody's having a great day, and I'm glad you all are here with me. So let's get started with our analysis of all the majors. Just so you guys know, it's like I said a little earlier. It is cold. I mean, it's literally very cold over here. Um, um, it's cool where I live, and the nice thing about that is that when it's cool like it is, man, I sleep really good. I sleep really well, and I I slept a full night's sleep last night, and I could have slept another 2 hours. It's like hibernation. Anyway, so I'm still a little groggy, but I'm getting it together. All right, so why is the euro where we're at? Well, we are at 161% extension. I do not expect the euro to break any further pre non-farm payroll. Okay, so if we get anywhere close to 108.20, you got to be on the long side of the euro. And if you want to, you can get on the long side of the euro right here and put your stops below 108 and target a move back up to 109.50, even just for a move between now and non-farm payroll. Okay, now let me also explain something to you. I'm not doing that trade. Okay, if we dip to 108.20, I might actually take that position. Just it'd be worth a 50 pip risk or whatever. I just think we're at really major support here. 161% extension, major horizontal support. I believe this is all great support ahead of non-farm payroll. Obviously, if a strong non-farm payroll report comes out, we're blasting through 108, and we're probably heading towards 107 to 106 next week. Okay, but for tonight, just knowing what's happening over the course of the next 24 hours, that 24 hours from now we're going to have non-farm payroll, you're probably not going to get a push below here, and if it is, it's going to be very minor. It's just going to be enough to probe some stops. So let me put down support 1.0810, major support. That's why I'm going to put a double asterisk. It is bearish. Okay, so if you decide to get long, you're trading counter trend. Please understand that. And really, I was hoping last night, and matter of fact, I got to do this really quick. Let me go over to my active orders, cancel my orders. Okay. Okay. I had to cancel my, I had an order to sell the euro dollar at 109.35, or I think it was at 35. I just canceled it, but it was right over here to get short some euros if we rallied overnight. It just obviously didn't happen. So, oops. So what I was hoping was going to happen last night, which didn't happen, but what I was hoping we'd rally here, then I could get short some euro ahead of tomorrow's non-farm payroll. I thought we were going to go like this and then be able to sell it up here tonight or tomorrow, tonight, really today or tonight, and then be here by NFP tomorrow. But it looks like it's going to be the opposite. It's going to be, we're here, we'll probably bounce back to here prior to non-farm payroll, and then rally to here or sell off to here following. Does that make sense? Okay. That's currently what I think is going to happen with the euro now. Last night I was just hoping we would. If you were with me in the Lunch Money webinar, that's what I was really hoping would happen. Okay, so anyway, we're at major support right now. Now resistance on the way back up is easy. Resistance will be right here. Okay. Let me. Okay. In my opinion, really good resistance is right here at 109.30. But and we could get up there today. We really could. I don't think it's not possible. Okay. And if we get up there, maybe that's a great place to be on the short side of the euro if you can get it. It's only 60 pips away from where we're currently at. With a really tight trading range that we've seen overnight, it's doable. You know what I mean? Totally doable. Okay. Mm. Okay. Let's um let's take the cable. So the pound dollar, like I said, if we can get a move down to 152.25, that'd be a great long. I'm going to delete this head and shoulder pattern that we had because that is now complete. You complete me. Just getting rid of it now. Okay. So if we can get any move down here, actually to 152.45, that would be awesome. I think because I would actually like to buy something pound related. Like I don't know if I'd buy the pound dollar, but I would like to buy the pound New Zealand. I would like to buy maybe the pound Canadian. You know what I mean? I would like to buy something cable related if we got down here. So 152.45, huge support, huge support. Um, would I get long the pound dollar? I mean, maybe, possibly, but that's really, really key support. Now you have to think about any type of rally. Where's the rally going to get stuff? Because think about all the people that are long. People came into the Bank of England today. They said, this is what they said, the bulls. Okay, and I'm not saying I was bullish or bearish heading into the Bank of England, but anybody who's bullish was thinking, oh, uh, you know, I heard the dude on CNBC this morning. Oh yeah, the guy that hosts the CNBC what the before the New York people come on, the guys in Europe. That guy, he was being interviewed on CNBC this morning as I was sitting here typing my morning alert to everybody. He's like, yeah, the Bank of England could quite possibly raise rates before the FOMC. Now this is a reporter, right? I'm sitting there looking at him going, no, they're gonna follow the FOMC because that's what the Bank of England does. But he's like, well, how about if they prepare the market for a rate hike before the Fed? I'm like, well, how many people are thinking that right now? How many people are actually thinking that right now? I'm sure there's got to be some, right? At least that reporter was. But okay, so now you're like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna get long on the pound because Mark Carney is going to be super bullish because that's his proven track record when he was at the Bank of Canada. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to mean to make myself laugh there for a second, but anyway, so people got long. Okay, so now what do you do? Now what do you do? Well, you're thinking, holy crap, if I can just get out up here, I'd be so happy with that. you know, like I bought it just before the news at 153.80 or 153.80, yeah, 80 something. If we can get back to 153.60, I'd be so happy. Because you know what? If we got to 153.50, I'd be looking at short. I'd be so happy. I'm so happy. Oh, so happy if I could short up there. See, that's not even a good song. You guys, the Greek gods are so much better than that, right? They are. All right, so we are really still in a range environment. I know it sucks, but we are. Mm, mm. Wait, hold on a second. Really still in a range environment, as much as it sucks to be in one, but we are. Okay. Yeah, if we, I mean, I'll tell you, if I could squeeze off a short up here today, that'd be great. We can get back to 153.50. Them's be the Greek gods singing. Let's see. Pound, Swissy. All right, so here's the Swissy. All right, so we rallied in new highs. Do keep in mind that the relative strength was diverging pretty good. Okay, I'm long. I'm not worried about it. I'm looking more at a longer term structure, but I can see why the Swissy would turn lower here. We still have good support down here at 99 cents. So if we can get a dip down to 99 cents, maybe even, excuse me, maybe even a little less than that, or a little. Let's check out something. So this is a 4-hour chart. Let me get rid of this. Resistance is going to be anywhere towards parity. So just in case like the data is like super rock solid out of the US, any resistance towards parity, you know that how many people are selling here. I mean, everybody and their mother's brother's uncle is going to be selling. Whoops, sorry, that okay. Everybody's going to be selling the Swissy up there. Any move up to parity, it's just going to find sellers. Now, let's stop here for a second on the Swissy. Let's do this. Okay, this needs a hold because if it doesn't, we'll dip back towards this 98.50. That will be at 99.20, whatever the low is here, 99.20. That really has to hold. See, the problem is see how we hit new highs, see how relative strength is diverging. That's not necessarily a good thing. Okay, so we need to hold 99.20. If not, excuse me, if not, that risks a dip back towards 98.50, 98.70. Okay. And if you're looking to short the Swissy, I mean, I'm long, but I'm just saying if you're looking to short it, below 99.20 might expose a move back down towards 98 and change. All right, let's look at the dollar yen. So here's the dollar yen, and so Paul Franco, he saw, and I agree with this here. Okay, right here, take the high of 126, basically 125.80 to the spike lows. 618 takes us to 122 and change, so 122.15, 122.10, somewhere around there. We have been overnight as high as 122, so if we can make a move up to 122.10, whoa, what happened there? uh, oh no, what happened there? How come my font's all jacked up? Okay, hold on. Shoot. Ah, crap. How'd that happen? Something that I did with the copy paste, the cut paste. Okay, Control plus Z. I'll try it. That didn't work. Control Z. No, I don't want to close and reopen without saving. I don't want to do that, Jose. Then I have to go find my old template again. Copy and paste from a gray cell. Okay, let's try that. So go 122. That's a good idea. So I have to go back to 122.10, right? So cut. Right. I said, okay, that'll work. Thanks, guys. Parity 1.000. Thank you. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate it. Okay. That was Alex. Alex saved the day. Um, as you can see, I'm not an Excel expert. Never claimed to be. I'm just not. All right. That was a lot of work. I'm tired now. Okay. Mm. All right. Let's go over to the dollar yen. Let's figure out where support is. So resistance, any move up towards that 122.10 is probably going to find some sellers. Now, buyers. Okay, this was a big breakout at 121.50, so that's going to be huge support on the way back down. Of course, that's where I'm short, but you know, whatever. So this is getting kind of messy. We should delete some of this stuff. Let's delete that. Oops, I didn't want to delete that. Let's delete that. Let's delete that. Let's delete that. Let's delete that. Delete that. 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 Okay. We can delete that at the moment. Yeah, so any move down to 121.50s. This is a flag. I'll just have to draw it differently somewhere else. Anyway, 121.50 is going to be big support. On the way back down, it is still range bound. I know you want to go, oh, well, it's bullish, Blake. It's still, I'm telling you guys, this move right here, do not underestimate this move. Right there. Okay. I would love to sell it. I hope I don't get a chance to, obviously, because I'm short right now. But if it gets up to like 123, 124, 123 and a half, that's ultimately where I'd really like to short it. I wanted to short it there. I thought we were going to go up there when we were here. You know, I thought, you know, I did an interview with Dale Pinkert over at FX Street, and and back then I was like, man, if we can get to 122 and change, I'd love to be a seller. You know, we're up here now, but we have some open space to get up here over time if we really want to. Anyway, I just think it's more or less very much range bound. All right, let's go over the Canadian really quick. So here's the Canadian. What do you do with this? And I'll tell you, I have traded the Canadian so poorly. I mean, I bought it like on this dip. I bought it here, and we dipped to 30.50, and I didn't sell it, which is fine. And then we rallied back to my basically break-even point. I sold it for nothing, for break-even, and then it rallies 80 pips. It's like, man, this thing is crazy. Like, just look at what's happened. Just look at what the Canadian's done. Look at that false breakdown there. Look at the false breakout here, above those highs, above those, or below those lows. I mean, you know, you guys can play the Canadian all you want. It's crazy. You know what I would do if I was going to trade the Canadian from here? I would just take my cues from crude that's not doing anything. You know, if crude starts to sell off, okay, then you probably want to be long the dollar Canadian. You know, you want to be short Canadian. If the crude starts to rally, you know, crude starts to rally, you probably want to short the dollar Canadian. I don't know if I would do anything other than that at this point, because how it's. And I'm just happy that I got out unscathed. But I mean, I literally bought it here and sold it here, and I'm like, oh, look at this crap. You know, if it dips back down to here, that's a good opportunity to get long, I would say. Um, maybe if we got back above 132, this might be a good short somewhere up here. If we got somewhere near here, but I don't know. I would let I would let I would let crude dictate what you're going to do with it, personally, because crude's really tight range now. Okay, so with that being said, here's a range for you to deal with. 131.90, 131.40, and even if this did break, like, doesn't that seem logical at this point? I mean, it's like, okay, what do you do with it? Yeah, I don't know. Whenever I look at something and I can't make heads or tails, if I can't make heads or tails out of it, I won't trade it. You know, like right now, I'm not trading the Canadian. You couldn't pay me money to trade the Canadian right now. Not where we're currently at. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And if it doesn't make any sense to me, I'll just leave it alone. But and right now, the Canadian doesn't make any sense to me. I guess if it gets really overbought or really oversold intraday, that's the way to trade it. But right now, so let's first of all 130. Let's just call it 132's resistance right now. Support's probably back down here at 131. And maybe if you get up to 132 and you want to short it, you get down to 131, you want to be long. Maybe that's the way to play it. But I don't. It looks like a disaster, really does. Okay, when I come back, we'll do the Kiwi, the Aussie, dollar index. The Norges central bank, by the way, kept rates unchanged, and the U.S. dollar Norwegian krona fell because and that might have posted a false breakout, which is what a nightmare that thing's becoming. Thank God I didn't get long yesterday. I thought about it above 860 and I didn't do it. I just forgot about it. Thank God. Um, but we'll talk about those when we come back. So don't go anywhere. Be back in a few moments. All right, traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar. I want to welcome you all back. And so the comments coming out from the Bank of England's Carney says when bank rates rise occur, they can be expected to be limited and gradual. Last few days have been quite big unwind and market retreat from risky assets. Does not regret previously saying rate rise decision come into sharper relief at turn of year. So it hasn't really helped the cable. The cable's still down 100 pips on the day currently, and so the pound is feeling a little bit of heat still. But not, it's just kind of moderating. It's nothing's really happening from here. All right, let's go in and wrap up with we have to do the Kiwi, the Aussie, and also do the dollar index and some of the other currencies as well. So let's go over to, here's the Kiwi. All right, now the New Zealand dollar, we stopped at the 127% extension. Pretty good too. Here, I guess the 4-hour chart's going to be best displayed. So we hit the 127% extension and the 50% retracement. Okay, we had a fib cluster there. Take 50% of the entire move up, 127% extension of the last move, the last move up. And then what we're doing is we're heading right into resistance at 66.20. This is resistance where we're at. Now, I have a short, New Zealand yen, so I hope it just rolls over from here, but it's small. It's nothing really to write home about. if I really wanted to trade today ahead of non-farm payroll, I would be shorting the Kiwi right now. I'm not, as you guys can probably tell, I'm not super excited about trading the dollar today. I'm not, because I think tomorrow's going to be a really, really big day. So I'm not super excited about trading the dollar at all. I'm actually looking at cross rates, today more than anything. But there's a chance that we could bust through this 66.20, and I think that if we make a move back up towards like the 66.40, that's going to be some really good resistance as well. What I would do here, let me delete that, because you know now why it stopped. Okay, you know why it stopped where it stopped. I deleted those fib levels. Now what I would do is try to figure out a shallow retracement level, which might take us a little higher than where we're currently at. So let's do that. We can take this trend high to the low. So the 38% retracement roughly takes us to 66.56. Pretty much matches up with this support right here. So I would say 66.50. If you guys want to short the Kiwi, that's probably a good place to short it. Okay. We're still in a range environment. But and if we get up there, I might actually short the Kiwi. I might, if we can get a move up there. All right. Support is obviously 65.70. Excuse me. And that's really good support. So 0.657D. This is really, really good support for the Kiwi. All right, let's go over to the Aussie dollar. All right, Aussie. Now the Aussie dollar, obviously relinquished. The 72.20 was such a big deal. Now if we can move up to 72, this is going to be a good short. Okay, that'd be a good short right there at 72 cents. Support be any dip down to 70, 75. And notice how we're mid-range. I don't think there's anything to do with the Aussie right now, like nothing. So 70, 75, 72 cents. I think you have to trade the ranges there. 70, 75, and 0.7200 range. Okay. And what I would do is I would sell the upper end of that range, and I'd buy the lower end of that range if we could get there. So the Aussie's really going to have to stretch its legs to get to either one of those areas, and I would let it rather than getting stuck. Trading it somewhere in here. You get stuck inside of this, mess, and you're gonna you end up getting long here or short here. You're just gonna end up getting flipped around a lot. It's dangerous. This is a dangerous place to be currently. All right, let's go over to the dollar index. Okay, so here's the dollar index. All right, 4-hour chart for the dollar index, and we had highlighted what a key level of resistance this was at 98.25. Okay. Originally, I thought 98 cents would be a big deal, but what I would do is I would mark up all the resistance here. So 98.33. I doubt we're going to make it up there, but I want us to know. I want us to know where it is. Let's go over to let me look at the other dollar index really quick. What's the high here? Same thing, 98.33. So 98.30 is a big deal. 98.30. Okay. Oh, whoops, we're bullish. Excuse me. So where's support going to be? I guess it's very similar to what we were discussing with the dollar yen and the Swissy. This trend line support here, real big support on the way back down. So let's move this to be right there. Comes in at 97.50. So if you can get a dip down to 97.50 in the dollar, probably not a bad place to be on the long side. Notice how the dollar's dipping already. 97.50. Okay, let's talk about the peso. I think the peso is still in its range. I exited the wow, cable's new lows. Holy crap! Look at the euro pound still racing higher. Son of a gun! Wow, hold on really fast. Let me Dimitri, so I'm still on the euro Canadian. Yes, I am. Okay, there's the peso, but hold on. I wanna go check out some. We're approaching like a bounce zone for the pound New Zealand. Actually, how low did we go? 38. I got long a little pound New Zealand here at 130.79. I don't mind risking about 70 pips from here. I'll risk back below 230 because this should hold through here. Yeah, hold on. Let me just double check a few things. 618 comes in right around the same price. Okay. I just picked up a little bit, not as big of a position as I was in on the way up, but I don't mind buying these dips down here, back down to 230. Okay. Okay. So anyway, all right. Going back to where was I? I'm sorry. I was at the peso. Peso still mid-range. Did I tell you guys I sold my peso and my inaugural trade in the peso? I lost money. I think I sold it like right here or right here, maybe. I would have actually made money in that stupid trade, but that's okay. That's what I get for trying to buy it while we were mid-range. We're still in this range, so I don't even think I'm not even going to write it down today because we're not even threatening upside or downside break of this range. We're just stuck in the middle of the range. So I'm going to leave the peso out. But as you guys know, Thomas says, no, I was a Mexican from that trade. I did. I lost money. Stupid me, but that's okay. Hey, at least I did it. At least I inaugural trade in the peso. That's good. I still think we've got really good support and resistance here. It's just we're in between ranges, so we're not even close to breaching one side or the other. So I'm not worried about it today. Norwegian krona. This one concerns me a little bit. The Norges Central Bank met this morning. They said they did not discuss cutting rates at this meeting, even though they kept rates unchanged. They did not discuss cutting rates, which which is, it's concerning because what we did is now we got this false breakout here in the US dollar Norwegian krona. You know what I mean? So if you're long the US dollar Norwegian krona, you have to be very conservative at this point. Okay? You have to be very, very conservative at this point. You cannot take on excessive risk here, especially if you bought the breakout yesterday. If I bought the breakout yesterday, which I did not, but if I would have bought the breakout yesterday, I'd probably be selling this morning, taking a loss immediately. Okay? Does that make sense? That would be like my that's what I would be thinking at this moment. Um, if you break this support, if you break that support, that's when it gets really dicey. Okay, so 140 or 842. I'm not going to put this down today, but that's if you're still long and you're like, well, I'm going to hold on anyway. I still think it's going to break higher. That's where you have to draw the line. You got to figure out where to draw the line, and I think that's where you have to. Swedish krona, on the other hand, this thing's still making its way higher. We're almost up to a 786 retracement of this entire range. This probably is not a bad short here, especially if the euro is going to start to stabilize between now and non-farm payroll. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the bias chart just like this for right now. I don't think we should be adding anything else on there, but I'm going to leave it there right now. Okay. So there you go. Your bias chart is done. Let me take some of your questions. So going to the way back here.